Hey guys, so this is a video focused on hitting that mark once you've been stuck at home. So if you're kind of interested on what that's like, what I'm going through, and what I'm trying to do to get out of it, keep watching. But this is not going to be a happy video. So, as you can probably hear my voice, I am entirely not myself. No matter what I do, I'm just at a slump. So I am working from home, which is great. I have job security, which is awesome. And, I'm busy. Yeah, I'm still busy, still totally slammed. And I've got an additional project, which is really good news, but is adding to the workload, which is sometimes very hard to manage. But that is like every single job. So nothing crazy there. That's pretty much normal. However, like everybody else, that is not the only thing happening right now. So I think being quarantined and just dealing with work, I'd be fine. I could make it through. Let's throw into the fire some more wood and some more accelerant. I don't know if my boyfriend's coming back in July, which honestly, I was going to say that I was prepared for going into this relationship, but no one can be prepared for that. I expected that. So again, not the worst thing. Now let's add to it that one of my 3 geckos had surgery today. She drastically just like took a turn for the worse last week. So I had to take her to the vet, and ultimately, long story short, she's a female. She developed an egg and couldn't get it out. So it's stuck in her, pushing on her digestive system. She has an infection. But I haven't had her all weekend, and I'm worried. She is my responsibility. She's my baby. I don't even call her a pet. And I don't know if I did something wrong to make her sick or if it just happened, but I'm waiting for the vet to call me back. He called me after surgery. He said that, he removed everything, but she had an infection. So he is going to check on her one more time tonight and should call me before he leaves for the day. So I've been really stressed out about that. And then in addition, my other girl is going through similar situation that my other girl did, the one that just had surgery. So when I pick up my first girl tomorrow, I'm going to take the second girl to get x-rays. It just another worry. And it's just a lot of mental downers all at once. And it's just back to back to back. It's like I can't catch a break. So normally, without this virus, I'd stress relief by, seeing my friends, going to farmers markets on the weekends, going out to eat, going to each other's houses, having game night, and just letting go of everything. And I can't. So I am trying to go for walks around the complex and doing yoga, but it's not enough. At this point, I'm so past like my normal de-stressors. And I know I'm not the only one. I know it's got to be hard right now for your average person. But I'm really, really close to getting in the car, putting on a mask, getting a couple bottles of probably wine at this point. I'm trying so hard to mentally think that if I get in my car, I'm going to catch corona. Like if I mentally trick myself, then I won't be able to go. But on a normal basis, if I was still drinking, I would have already at least gone through, to be perfectly honest, probably 2 bottles a week by now. But like I said, alcohol helps us run away from our problems, not solve them. I'm bucketing things into their own sections. When I'm working, I am focused on just work. And then as soon as I'm off, like I make sure I have nothing else that I have to worry about. As soon as I shut down my computer, it's all my other stuff, all my personal stuff. And it's made it somewhat easier. But 2 days ago, I had a full blown panic attack. I started hyperventilating. My body started shaking and my limbs went numb. So I'm pretty sure that's a panic attack. But yeah, my sister helped talk me down and I was okay. And I'm back to focusing on the things that I need to focus, the things that I have control over. So I just went for a walk around the complex. And I'm hoping that the walk helped enough for me to keep it together. Okay, so end of week update. I ended up taking my second girl to get x-rays, and she was showing signs of issues as well. So my first girl, her name is Daisy. The second one is Peach. Anyways, long story short, both girls had surgery this week and both are home now healing. It's very stressful for me to help these two heal. So just for you guys to understand better, leopard geckos or reptiles take longer to heal. On top of that, Peach specifically, because I guess of her color, she's prone to getting like blood disorders. So she typically will bleed more and longer than your average gecko. So that means whenever I handle her to feed her, I also have to give them like legit shots in their tiny little bicep, if you want to even call it a bicep. And that's trying to hold a little animal that doesn't want to be, held down, inject them. And, when I stick the needle, if I need to be able to pull the needle back, and if it bounces back, that means I'm in the muscle in the right place and I can inject the antibiotic. So that means if I don't hit the right spot, I got to poke her again. And yeah, it's a hot mess. But for Peach, whenever I handle her for anything, these oral medications, feeding her shots, she wiggles. She wiggles a lot. She does not want to be held down. She doesn't want to be bothered. And whenever she fights me, she's rubbing her incision on the towel I'm trying to hold her. Like you need a burrito with them pretty much. And every time she fights, she pulls on it, and it's not pulling out stitches, but it's not letting the skin heal together again. So I try to feed her the first night she came home, and she was doing good on the first half of her food. Second half, she started fighting and she started to bleed again, and I panicked. The office is great. Both vets are beyond amazing. So if you have reptiles, you need a vet, and you're in Orlando, let me know. She emailed me back. No, she called me immediately after I emailed her and essentially told me to put pressure on the incision and to wrap her. So like a pressure bandage to stop the bleeding, protect the incision. So when she fights, she moves, it doesn't rip open again. And so essentially to let it heal. So we want to keep it there for a couple of days to allow for enough healing to have happened so that when I continue to have to handle her, it's not the same situation. To be honest, without the virus, without the stresses I already have, that would be very stressful in itself. And I really wish I had some help. Not gonna lie. I probably cried at least like 4 times this week. But at the end of the day, I keep reminding myself, like, I have to. There's nobody else. I have to. So all that's been going on this week. And on top of that, work has not been the easiest this week. Generally, there's like a day or two, maybe, that it's like, what the heck is going on? It's been every day. I think the only day that was half decent was Tuesday. Every other day was crazy calls and calls and calls, emails, all these things happening that came up day of, plus what I've already scheduled. Like there are 2 days I solidly worked about 9 to 11 hours in that day. Like it's been a lot. And I mean, thankfully I talked to my boss who's fantastic. I told him about my stresses. He helped me figure out what to let go in terms of my job, things I don't have to worry about. And essentially I prepared myself for no contact with work whatsoever this weekend. So my boss is fully aware, and I really am appreciative that he said, "Don't worry about it. Like, pretty much, take your time. I've got a couple days off next week too." Um, and my work ethic is, if it's my responsibility, I'm going to do it. I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to do it. It's not something I should push on anybody else. And so, because of that, you know, I don't typically reach out for help, and I that's good and bad, you could say, but it's hard for me to just not look at my job or look at things over the weekend or after work. Or if someone texts me about a problem, I can't just let it wait until tomorrow. But based off of everything that's happening to me, I'm going to have to start doing that. I'm going to have to start setting barriers. I need to step to the side and heal because I'm legitimately broken. And if I don't do it now, then I will permanently be broken and not available ever to help anybody. So sorry, but not sorry. Hashtag Demi Lovato is the best. Anyways, I'm trying to be upbeat and like my normal silly self because I know the more you smile, the more you laugh, your body is like, I need to be happy, not all these other emotions. Um, so in addition to everything I said, the beginning of the week, there's been not directly to me, but very close to me, 3 deaths in the last 2 weeks, which I wasn't comprehending until pretty much right now. Um, but I want to heal myself to be there for those people that they directly affect who are very close to me. So this weekend is really necessary. I couldn't do this last week. I couldn't take days off last week because I already had stuff scheduled. I have a lot of things going on, and rescheduling or pushing those things would have been a larger stressor than anything. So last week, I literally was dragging myself through the week. This weekend into this week, I'm hoping that, not having anything planned, not having anything scheduled, I can fix myself. I can repair myself to handle things. Then another thing that also is sending me over the edge. My dad has had this swollen ankle, so painful it hurts that he can't walk type of thing. He had it a couple weeks ago on his ankle, I think his left or something. He saw a doctor. They gave him antibiotics. The swelling went down. He could walk. They did x-rays. They think it's arthritis. I've got a bunch of broken information about it. But his ankle is swollen again. And so he's going to call the doctor on Monday, and I'm going to make that appointment with him. But my parents have always been super strong people. Like, I know their age and they're up there and this is all natural, but actually seeing their age come out is not something I know how to address yet. which is also something that I blocked out of my head during the week because I literally couldn't mentally handle it. So that's why, again, now things are happening in my head and things are falling out of my eyes onto my face because I'm recognizing all the extra shit that I ignored during the week. If you guys are at a point, or if things are happening that are unmanageable, try to start prioritizing what you actually have control over and what you don't. And from there, what is most pressing versus can wait a little bit. And literally write this out so you don't forget things and focus on them one at a time. Okay. It's going to sound crazy or might sound like it won't work, but right now, without it written down, you've got your head literally exploding with all these things you need to remember and all these things happening. When you write it down, you start to visually see all the different things. Okay, I have A, B, C, D. Let me just look at A right now. You clear your mind, you clear your mental capacity to just focus on A and then go through down the list. It's important that we start to communicate with people if we don't know how to do that. So when I had my panic attack last week, when I talked to my sister, she helped me talk it through and figure out, okay, you have no control over this. So unfortunately, that is going to be the way it is. Look at what you can focus on. So if you don't have people that you can have these discussions with, please email me. Okay, we can start having these conversations.